So hey chicks, let's chat. So listen, keep the comments coming. I love them. I love the interactions with y'all. I never thought that I would enjoy the interaction so much in the comment section. I try to get to everyone while I'm still in the grassroots phase of my platform, so I try to at least acknowledge the comments. If I can do a little 1-2 with you, I try to do that too, because I really enjoy it. It really just feels like meeting a whole bunch of people, that you never would have met before, so I enjoy that because I am a person that I enjoy people. So keep the comments coming, sharing your stories. I love that. And like I said, a lot of times when I'm, in the comments, some of your comments give me a topic of discussion. So that again happened today with one of my subscribers. And it was, I'm glad she said what she said, because instantly it just triggered a conversation topic. So let's get into it. So one of the things I think that was one of the best gifts that I received from my dad coming up was he always allowed me the ability, the platform, the safe space to articulate what it was that I was feeling, or what I needed, what I wanted, what I didn't like. He always gave me that space, right? And now that would be the difference between him and my mom, because my mom is from the school that when she say that, anything you say behind that is considered disrespect, or it's considered, inappropriate, or it's considered, you stepping out, you no longer in a child's place, put it like that. So my dad, he didn't take that approach. He always would hear us out, and he always would, at least listen. Even if in the end, soon as the sentence finished, he said, okay, now go do exactly what I told you to do. And I don't care what you feel about it. Even if whatever he said afterwards, I didn't like, he still gave us, or he at least gave me the ability, the space to go ahead and voice it, right? Now, had he not done that, I would really be a different person than who I am today. But because he allowed me to do that at such a young age, it allowed me to be very comfortable with telling whoever, whatever I need to tell them. Because if I could tell my daddy, who I know he is a military man and he plays absolutely no games, he has almost zero tolerance and patience. If I could stand flat foot and tell him how I felt, who is it that I can't tell how I feel? Right? That was training. That was training for later. That was training so that I would be able to clearly express how I'm feeling, even when I'm mad, even when I'm sad, even when I'm hurting. It didn't say that it was going to take the anger away or take the sadness away, but it still just gave me what I needed inside to have the courage to be able to do it, right? And I don't care what area of your life, you're always going to need to be able to clearly articulate something, whether it's in writing, whether it's verbally, you're going to need to be able to do that. And I think as a people, not all of us now, because all of us, a lot of us don't mind saying, but a lot of us also will go about it the wrong way, right? Now, sometimes when you see people just, popping off, and that is a direct reflection of when they were held back from being able to express what they needed to express. And then they never learned how to do it the right way. And they were held back so long to when they got to the point where they grown and nobody can't tell them how to say this, that. Now they just do it any kind of way, which is still, a form of inappropriateness, because you don't know how to do it and say it the right way. And a lot of times you could be right with why you have to say something, but just wrong with how you go about saying it. You know, if your delivery is off, a lot of times they don't even hear nothing that you say, right? But a lot of times when people in their feelings, they don't care about their delivery. They just, you gonna get it, no matter how they give it to you, you know? So it's very important that if you rearing kids, whether it's your grandkids, whether it's your nieces, your nephews, you know, don't be so stuck in your old school ways that you don't start preparing them and allowing them to learn through you in a safe space what to say, how to say it, how to be respectful in what it is they're trying to convey, right? Because you're the teacher, you're the first teacher. So if they come to you with some and they popping off already, that's when you can say, hold up, rewind, pause. That's never how you talk to an adult. That's never how you talk to a superior, etc., so forth. Like, that's your time to train them. And it's so imperative that we start at that young age. And it's so imperative that we get out of our feelings and don't feel like they disrespecting us just because they don't agree with us. Right? Because again, that's a training moment. They don't understand why what you're saying is going to save their life. So that's when you come in right after them and say, I understood what you said. Clearly, I understand that. You made some good points of X, Y, and Z. But boom, this is why this is. Right? And so I said all that to get into the conversation of, it's especially important to be able to articulate your feelings and get your point across when someone has wronged you, right? And a lot of times, you know, women, we get in our feelings, and sometimes all we can do is cry, right? And ain't nothing wrong with crying, but it's a time to cry and it's a time to communicate, right? Because tears can communicate, can be misunderstood. You could be crying when you're mad, because I'm a mad crier. You could be crying when you hurt. Okay, but when it's time to tell this man right where he had you messed up at, you need to be able to articulate that. If tears come with it, okay, so what? It don't matter. But you still need to be able to get off verbally where you're coming from and make that person at least understand your side. I don't know if it comes from slavery days where we had to hush, or it could have meant life or death. I don't know if it, came from when we coming up in our families and it's just, any form of back talk was considered disrespectful, or, you just keep your mouth closed. You don't say nothing about this, that, or the third, and you definitely don't talk about what's going on in the house to nobody. All those things have contributed to us getting to a point, some of us being in a place where we don't know how to properly communicate. And that's not a good space to be in, and it's not a safe space to be in, right? And so the comment the young lady had made, she was just saying, like, because she had commented on a video I made a couple weeks ago. And in the video, I think I was saying something about, it was about friendship or something. I was like, I might say a person name while I might don't, or whatever. So then her comment was saying that, well, if you do say a person name, they may look at it as if, you just butt hurt or whatever. And that is true. They may, but my response was that, well, basically people gonna look at whatever they want and draw their own conclusions anyways. But what really struck me was the fact that why we care? Why do we care? If you have done something that wronged me, that hurt me, that you was dead wrong about, why do I care? If, you hear that I called your name. Why do I care about sparing your feelings and your pride and your reputation when you didn't care nothing about sparing mine? Why do we care so much? And then you care to the point where you don't want to call a person out on their bull crap because you scared it's going to make you look weak. Well, guess what? If you did something to me and it hurt me, I'm hurt. I'm a person. I have feelings. It's okay for me to be hurt. It's okay for me to be sad. It's okay for me to feel what I'm feeling. And I should not feel what I'm feeling just to spare you. If I want to sing your name to the hills, so what? You shouldn't have did it. You shouldn't have said it. I don't owe you to spare you. And I understand love covers a multitude of sins. It does. Like the Bible says that. But that does not mean that I have to spare you when you have done something to me. I could, if I love you in that way, or if I'm still loving you, maybe I could just protect you and just don't. But that's okay, I could. But if I want to say, hey, listen, you wronged me. You was wrong when you did this, sir. And say your name. Oh, well, you did it. See, this is my thing. People get comfortable with not being called to the carpet. They don't think you're going to say their name. They don't think you're going to call them on a bull. They don't think you're going to put it out there and let people know, hey, this person is garbage. She is garbage. Don't be friends with her. Hey, watch out for her. Even if you're going to be a friend, watch out for her. She's slimy, she grimy, People don't think you're going to do that. And that's how they keep being able to continue doing the stuff that they do. Why? Because such and such never told nobody. Why you ain't tell me that was like that? Girl, hey, sometimes you just got to find out for yourself. And yes, but it would have benefited me had you at least put a bug in my ear. So I don't know if we just be afraid of people, or we just have not figured out, we just don't know the right way to articulate something. And some people may say, oh, well, saying stuff on the internet or putting people on blast. Well, listen, sir or ma'am. Did they not know the type of person they was dealing with? Did they not know the type of person that, hey, this girl has a mouth. This girl speaks up for herself. This girl don't mind getting to the bottom of something. If they knew how you were and they still did whatever they did, shame on them. Shame on them. Because if they know how you're built, then they should know that at any moment in time, ain't no telling what you might say, when you might say it. Some people just ain't the people you supposed to cross. Nobody is the person you supposed to cross. But some of them, you just got to be dumb to cross them because you already know they're going to stand on business and whatever they want to say, they're going to say it. And not only they're going to point out what they did wrong, they're going to point out what you did wrong too. But there are people that they take accountability for what they did wrong too. But we have to get out of feeling like we got to, always show up as the bigger person, always, oh, I'm just gonna let them have that, and okay, and the next time they're gonna take you up, down, through there too. Like, I think that, listen, I'm all for being sophisticated, I'm all for showing up at your best, I'm all for all of that, but not to the point where you let people get over on you, not to the point where you want to people please so much that you scared to straighten them. No. People hide behind all that. I'm going to be the bigger person. No, you just don't want to confront the situation. You just don't have it in you to go ahead and straighten that heifer or straighten that brother. Say that. Just say that. All that, even sometimes people, well, I'm going to just let God deal with them. God is going to deal with them. But he going to deal with you too. If you don't start opening your goddamn mouth, you're going to keep being made a fool of. You're going to keep getting took up, down, and through there. He did give you a mouth for a reason. It is okay for you to be verbal and to be able to say what you need to say to a person. It is okay to check a person when they get wrong, when they out of pocket. But, it also means that you need to be emotionally intelligent. You need to be solid-minded to where you ain't just out here straightening people and you wrong. But you call yourself straightening them, and then really and truly, they should have been straightening you. Right? You need to have your stuff together too now. And like I said, you always need to be in a situation where you're able to be accountable for where you went wrong at. Because sometimes it's you and them that's wrong. And you need to be able to say, yes, I was wrong. Or you need to be able to understand when they point it out to you. If you can't see it and y'all communicate, and when they say, hey, but you did X, Y, and Z, you was wrong for that. You need to be able to say, you know what, you right, I was wrong. That don't make you right for what you did neither. It just means we both were wrong. That's what it means. We were wrong, period. And a lot of times that be the situation. Y'all both wrong in some way, shape, or form. You may be wrong with how you came at that person, and they may be wrong with what they actually did that made you come at them with But at the end of the day, we have to start learning how to be able to, hey, speak up for yourself. To me, I don't know if it's worse for a woman not to be able to speak up for herself or a man. But everything don't have to result to getting out of hand. A lot of things can be solved with a simple communication, with a simple, you open your mouth and express how you feel respectfully, and they have a rebuttal for you respectfully. But some things will never get solved and will never change because once a person know they could just get off on you, say certain things and do certain things, they don't stop. They keep on. And sometimes even with communication, it's not going to stop them. You have to go a step further to stop them, whatever the step is. Non-violently, of course, but hey, you might have to tell the police, or you might have to do whatever it is you need to do to back them up if you've already articulated how you feel and they continue on. But a lot of things can just be cut off, period, point blank, with a simple, hey, I didn't like when you said this. Okay, it'll never be said again. I don't like when you did this. Okay, it'll never be done again. Hey, I don't like when you're acting like this. Okay, that stuff get quelled, But yeah, so I just want to say that, like I said, some of those lessons start to get learned when you're young. So parents, if y'all cut y'all kids off every time they want to, make a statement or make a point, you might want to rethink that, and use it as a teaching moment to show them, hey, this is how you talk to me. This is how you talk to adults. This is how you firmly state how you're feeling. I feel like I want to say that I see more of that happening with parents nowadays, at least the ones that you see online. It seems like parents are giving their kids a little more flexibility to be a little more verbal. Some of it is just ridiculous and out of hand. I ain't talking about that. But the stuff that makes sense, it seems like children are having a better rapport, being able to articulate their feelings. And that's a good thing. Because like I say, it's nothing that's going to go on in their life that they're not going to need communication skills, right? And like I said, not having those proper communication skills leads to adults that don't know how to properly deal with their situations. And some people, sometimes they just shut down all the way. They shut down. They don't want to talk. They don't want to. That's another way of, that shows you they didn't learn to properly communicate. You know, now sometimes in the heat of the moment, a person got to just be quiet, and then they could come back and say what they need to say. But sometimes they just be quiet, internalize it. Don't never go straight in the person. Don't never go tell the person how messed up it was that they did. They internalize it. And then guess what? That stuff start to fester in you. You will start getting mental health issues. You will start getting physical health issues, cancers, all kind of stuff start happening up in your body. Why? Because you let it stay on the inside instead of spin it out. So that's all I want to chop it up with y'all today and say, like, listen, communication it really is key. And communication is a two-way stream. That's why your delivery is important, because if your delivery is so whack and crazy, that person is not going to even hear you. And communication has to be both ways. I have to be able to say something, and they have to be able to hear it and understand what I meant when I said it. So it has to be both ways. So if I'm yelling and super loud and super emotional, how can that person receive what I said in a way that I meant them to receive it? They can't. So that's not even communication. But, you know, hey, I just want to empower y'all to don't be scared. Don't be scared to say what you need to say to people, especially in moments when they got you all the way messed up. It's those moments where you have to check them. And that, man, listen, that's so imperative, because, listen, in the moments when your children are faced with stranger danger and bad touching situations, those children, had they been able to, listen, had we, victims like myself, had we been able to tell that person, don't touch me like that. My mama and my daddy said, don't touch me like that. That's a no touch. You don't touch me there. Had we been able to say that as kids, you know how many kids would have avoided being molested? Had they been able to have a strong voice? Now, of course, it wasn't going to run off all of the people, because some of them jokers was just nasty and evil and demonic, and they was going to do that. But if you give your children that power to have that strong voice, some of them people going to turn around, going to not bother your kids and your grandkids. Because why? Because they already know that joker finna tell. He or she done already told me, no, don't touch them in that way. Oh, they going to tell if I do it. So that's why it's so important to listen. You have a voice for a reason. We have to get comfortable using it. We have to learn how to use it in the most powerful way. Oh my goodness, we just have to learn how to use our voice, use our words. We tell kids all the time, don't shake your head, use your words. Okay, well, adults, we have to start using our words too, using the right words and communicating effectively on the spot, in the moment, the right way.